Alrighty, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Alrighty. A couple of things I wanted to hit today. How you doing, Dead Random? It is Wednesday. Doing a Wednesday stream because I don't have Friday. I'm leaving town. And there was something that I forgot to do yesterday, and I wanted to do it really quick, so I didn't forget. This is not this is not a new thing, but it's something I wanted to share with you because I thought it was actually pretty good. And the problem, I don't know if you remember, but I spent a lot of time with issues with my controller, and I was struggling a little bit with the sun, and I knew there were really good alternatives to really sunny days. So I agreed, and Drone Mask is not a new company. They basically fit a niche market, but Drone Mask makes these, and those are basically goggles. They resemble old school goggles. But the question would be, I always had is, can you make a better mousetrap? And I think Drone Mask kind of did, and they're really not too bad. Price-wise, I think you could get the original Drone Mask-like goggles. Now, these are basically made for basically putting your phone into it. So they're multi-use. You can pretty much learn FPV. It's a good way, actually, to just kind of explore FPV in a safe way. So anyway, Drone Mask basically provided this, and it works really good. I was using with my DJI, with my Parrot FPV. My Parrot, I was basically using a mask or a box goggle for FPV mode, and the Parrot. Get this thing open, and it worked really good. Obviously you've got the what I would consider to be the limitations of app control, but for some steady flying, where you need to see color and things like that, you need to do some tests. These goggles work pretty good. So a Drone Mask comes in a thing, basically a bag like this. These guys are out of Finland, I believe. Let me just double check here. No, excuse me, Norway. Sorry, wrong European nation. And I think they've done it really good. When what they wanted to do was make a better goggle, make a better box goggle, and for your phone. So this is a nice little solution. It's made really super nice. I did not expect it to not be nice when somebody specializes. Look at that. I wish these were inside of my my FPV goggles that I have right now. But they're super comfy, and they fit a full-size phone. So I wanted you to see these. There's a couple of cool things you can do to set them up. If you open up the drone mask, if you just open it up, it's got basically a zipper opening, and right away you're kind of like, all right. Really good optics, super good optics. And I tested them out a couple of different times. I tested them out with my Mavic, flying my Mavic. And for these, you basically have to have your cell phone now. One of the things that's nice is this thing will accommodate a large cell phone, a full-size cell phone. This is a max size, so it's heavy. And I will give you some of the drawbacks. So let me go ahead and put a photograph on. But basically, it just fits inside of those little grabs here. So I'm going to just put it in there, and it does fit, by the way, and it fits pretty snugly. I do trust it. One of my issues is, do I trust it in there? And it sits in there really good. Okay, so there's that. But it's on a spring mount. You can see it's on a spring mount, so it's springy in there. So everything's nice and soft. They fit in there. You basically shut it like that. I don't want to shut it quite yet. And then if you look through it, let me go ahead and give you guys a view, and you can adjust those. You can fit their glasses fit in there as well. Well, there you go. That's what you'll see right there. Obviously, it's not binocular. We're not using a binocular right now. But the optics are really good. The colors are very bright and brilliant. But it fits right over my glasses. Super good. And then they adjust. So I thought this was kind of cool. I had a pair that were really, really cheap at one time. So you can see how it adjusts out. It adjusts out really good. But super good quality. So if you need something and you're worried about the sun, they work really, really good. The other thing that's kind of cool, if you want to just test them out, now this works really good for just test purposes. Hey, Skang's on. I haven't. That's the thing. These are from Norway, and so you can imagine. Look at how they're made. These are about $140, so they're kind of pricey. That'd be the only thing that I would say would be a little bit kind of scare people away, but they're built really good. These are they're like a solid material. They're not plastic. They're soft. Like I said, the face pieces are very comfortable. They are so much nicer than when I'm flying with my with the Avata. So I thought that would be kind of cool. I just wanted to show you these. But if, like I said, if one of the things you want to do is be immersed in flight, this is a good way to start. Now, like I said, about 100. They actually have a Drone Mask 2 coming out. I don't know what that's going to do, but I'd say the only drawback is they're when you get the phone in there. Let me go ahead and put them on. They're a little bit heavy. That's all I could tell you. So, but they fit really nice, and they are smooth and soft. So that's the big thing. So a lot of these adaptive products are not built really well, but you can tell if you just look at the build quality of these. They're superb. So they're worth the money. So one of the things I'll say is, it's just, do you have the need, and are they worth the money? So that's the big question. And I don't know how these are going to be taken by the market. I can imagine that they're going to move this one forward. You notice that there is a hole right there. You can actually put your phone camera through that, so you can really get a good feel as to what your lighting is. So if you just wanted to use this as a way of testing the lighting in the area that you're at, but this is one of the things I did. Let me go ahead and just make a little mod here. I'm going to put this back inside the drone mask, but yeah, about 150 bucks. And I wouldn't tell you that they weren't built good if they weren't built good. And the biggest thing is, do you have a need? I mean, what would be the purpose of having, what would be to me, it would be like, you don't want to spend $500 on goggles for your FPV system, and you're trying to figure out what what it's like flying an FPV in a monocular. So you're not in binocular, you're not looking through separate, but they're really good. I mean, like I said, the lens quality is killer. Here, let me turn the camera on here, so that'll help. I'm going to go from there. I'm going to go turn on my camera so you can see a little bit better live. So I'm putting this in there, and now you see I got the lens of my, and your wire would hang out the side here. So this is where your wire would hang out. For your Mavic, this would be good for any of those Mavic Mini. So if you have a sun issue, there it is right there. Check that out. That is really clear, by the way. I think that's a really good example of how clear the goggles are as you're looking through there. But I have glasses, and you can actually use these with glasses. I don't think you have to, but it does help. I think it does help with glasses. It is so good, though. The quality, it's hard to explain how good the quality is. And you definitely do get a nice wide angle view of what you're seeing. So I wished you could, like I said, I wish I could do it justice. But that's how clear the lenses are. Really good quality. I believe they're polycarbonate. They're definitely poly. And that's it. You basically get the drone mask. This is the little piece that goes in there, and then it comes in a little case like that. But these do retail for about $150. I think they're going to reduce the size of these. I think they're going to try to take some of the weight off of it. What I hope they don't do when they do the drone mask 2 is look at that. Look at that. You can really see. That just shows you how clear the glass is. So I'm looking at my replay over there, and I'm like, that's really good. So, but this is really cool. I feel like a freaking robot warrior or something looking through it. But once again, you have to have everything set, because you can't. Once you have this inside of the case, it's you have that issue. But very impressed with the quality. I just wanted you to see these. I was given these a while ago, and I haven't had a chance to show them to you, even though I've been using them. I'd used them in my Mini. I used them with my Autel Nano, and I also flew these with my Mavic. So, but you can see, look at that. This is a full-size phone. It fits perfect for that. So measurement-wise, just so if you're interested, this will accommodate 16. Is it 16 centimeters? So 16 centimeters by probably a max 8.5. So 16 by 8.5 centimeters. So let me just give it to show you from that perspective there. Oops, I got to get to this side here. So 16. So pretty impressed. By 8.5. So 16 by 8.5, and that's centimeters. So if that's a phone, if you want to try it, I don't think you'd go wrong. Would you use them? Yeah, I think you would. They're a really cool novelty for learning FPV. So you can take a toy FPV quad and turn that into one using goggles. One of the problems with the cheaper ones is, first of all, they don't feel as nice, and a lot of them don't adjust as far as this one. Look at the adjustment. You get a full. Yeah, they're really, and there's a locking mechanism right here, so that locks it, so you can't move it. So I think I got it locked. Unlock it, but you get a full probably. I'll make a measurement here. You get a full 3 centimeters of movement, so about 3. So you can put that right about there. You get about 3 centimeters of movement. So anyway, I do not have a link for these, but they're called drone mask. I'll go look and see if I can find I'll publish a link for you guys to look at, but I just wanted to show you this because I didn't know I'd have time today to do that. But this piece right here will go inside, and it fills that in, so you can keep it completely dark. But pretty cool, really good optics, good quality. So I was really impressed. I was thinking they'd be a little less quality, but they're very high quality. So very impressed for a box goggle. So like I said, solution for the sun, solution for FPV training. If you want to learn to train FPV, so you're not looking at your hands, you got to learn how to cope with your controller by feel. There's a lot of good things that you learn with that. One of the things people don't understand when they're flying FPV is that you have to basically mentally map out your controller in your head, you know? So, but thank you. I appreciate Drone Mask for letting me try this out. I wanted to try it because I was interested in the solution. I was one of those people that was complaining every time I flew in the sun, so. But Drone Mask. But I thought I'd show you that. Appreciate you checking that out. It is Wednesday, and I am getting, like I said, I'm getting ready to leave town, so I'm getting this little puppy ready to go. And one of the things here, let me show you a couple more pictures there really quick. I just want to show you what it looks like, some of the angles there. But real good quality. I mean, you can't beat the quality. It's really, really good. And it works. It works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is to give you an immersive flying experience in an area where you maybe are the light is drawing it out. So I just shot. I tried to take some pictures through the drone mask lenses, and it's too hard. You can't do it justice, but it's really good. And like I said, I could wear, these are some pretty average size reading glasses. They don't recommend people wear glasses underneath them, but I had no problem wearing these. I would think if you had larger glasses, it might be an issue. The other thing I wanted to cover today has to do with the Avata. And I had a little bit of fun on Kai's channel with what I call the Quack Strap. So I just wanted to show you it works. It's pretty good. This is basically a STL file that I found and I just customized. I'm actually thinking about making some of these and seeing if some of you guys want them. I'm just having fun, but they work great. This is made out of I printed these out of PETG. It seems like it fits in pretty nice. It's pretty snug. So PETG print, and then of course I stuck the new Dad Random logo in there. It's hard to see but I'm going to do these out of yellow. I'm thinking I'm going to make these out of yellow. That would be kind of cool for a color. I make them in black. Some people don't like the extra colors. Yellow would be cool. I've also found an STL file obviously for the ducks. Ducks. I should call them ducks. Dad random ducks, but duck covers. But I thought that would be kind of fun to do. So I'm going to try to do a little bit. I thought it'd be yellow on black would be kind of cool. But I was just experimenting with this part, and I've never, guys, I haven't had any problem with the battery coming out. It's in there pretty damn good. So I really don't see that issue, but it is a fun accessory. My favorite accessory is the one that looks like a shark, like a shark fin. That one's kind of fun. But I've never had any problems with it. Now this is, if you look at the sides, I guess they are in a way. They're not. They're made of hard plastic material. I can see how they would separate out over time. That this would want to start to, to move a little bit. But I've really never had any problems. I don't see an ounce of prevention being bad. So I think that's a great idea. But I'm calling it the Quack Strap because I'm having a little bit of fun with the other products that are out there. But there's these are all available files on Thingiverse and other places that have available STL files. And this one fits good and snug. I recommend this one. It does a good job. Now, I don't know how long it's going to last. Especially if you print them, if you print it in this direction. So if you print it like that direction right there, you do lose a little bit of strength because the printer is basically printing linearly this way, so you don't get a cross. I guess you could put, instead of printing it solid, you could print it with a little bit of with an infill that would allow for a little cross strength. But because I did have one of my prints that I made where this piece just broke, and then I just glued it. That was this piece right here. I think I have it still in here somewhere. Yeah, it's in there. It's basically this without the backing. But they print out pretty easy. I would say the best way to print this, if you're going to print it, would be this way down. That's how I did. So when I put the logo on it, I printed it with this going down like that. So it sat straight down, just like that. But yeah, and as far as so that's kind of a fun little detail. As far as I guess there's been a lot of discussion, about what to do when it comes to accessorizing or maybe modifying. That's what really the word I'm looking for is modifying this. I would highly recommend not modifying at all. Doug, you need to have one. It's worth every penny. A lot of fun. You will enjoy flying it. But I don't recommend modifying it. I've heard people say, you should take the ducks off. No, the whole purpose of it is to have them on. I've really had a good flying experience with them on. I want to fly in areas where they can be useful, meaning that the bumpers will help. So I have no intention of doing any modification. For example, putting different props on. This is just not. I'll go buy a Cinewhoop and then modify that. But I have no intention on modifying a DJI product. It's made to be the way it is, and I would suggest not to do that. If anybody wants to do any kind of cool modification, you could maybe reinvent the wheel here and put some different ducks on. Maybe do that. But this thing flies like a dream. You can fly really close to the ground. Manual mode is pretty smooth. One of the things that I am going to, and the goggles are amazing. So hey Ben, I had to come on because I had to do a little bit of a promotion for this puppy, this little drone mask. So if you want to check out the earlier part of the stream, really good. It's actually a really good product, really well made. Made in Europe. It's made in right there in Norway. So it's done well. I like I said, I recommend it. It's good. And basically, this is a flying solution for FPV immersion without a lot of fancy gizmos and gadgets. So pretty good. Definitely recommend that. Things that so I don't need to see videos of people crashing and modifying this to know that I don't want to do that. I'm one of those people that likes things the way they are. I suggest you do buy yourself a set of extra props. I do not think you should. Here, let me get the box out here. I do not think at this time. Sorry. I do not think at this time that anybody should do any modification whatsoever. I am worried that these are being basically, people are price gouging for these. When I bought this controller, I bought it for $80 on the open market. Right when I knew this thing was going out, I went quick and got one. They immediately went up in price from $80 to like $200. These are probably a sub $100 controller. So I don't know what you should do at this point when it comes to the controller. Now, you do remember that there is a stick modification you need to do that a lot of people, so you have to basically open up. Now, you see this right here? You see this rubber arrow? This thing needs to peel up, and underneath is the tensioner. And I've been flying manual. I've been flying manual with the spring on. It's a little annoying when you're used to not flying with the spring. When I'm flying without, like when I'm flying it in not in manual mode, it's pretty easy to still operate without a spring being there. So yeah, I think one modification that everybody needs to do is to loosen up this stick, get it loose, so you can fly manual. Now, as far as manual mode is concerned, I think unless you're really, really like decent at flying FPV already, I don't think it's a good thing. I think that sport mode is really pretty good. There's a lot of steps you have to go through to get this set up. Yeah, you have to basically set up the button. You have to go into the you have to update the controller so it will operate the Avata. Another thing you probably want to consider doing is a stick rate calibration. This is basically these are some rates I'm messing around with right now. So I'm going to check out a bunch of these rates that people have been basically thinking about doing. I'm going to look at some of the ways I've got my FPV set up, because one of the things I did was when I flew my DJI FPV is there were a couple of different stick rate calculations or settings that a lot of people suggested. And I'm going to be looking at some of those. I'm going to do some comparisons. I'm going to do a loose rate. I'm going to do one that's a little bit more loosey-goosey. You can't even see that because it's kind of, it's close enough to green. But I'm going to do a rate that's a little bit more loosey-goosey, meaning it's a little more quicker in response. And then I'm going to I'm going to set it up in a more cinematic style. So I'm going to do some of that. I do think that is worthwhile. I am not unhappy with the rates that are already set up on this. I think they're pretty good. They're pretty decent. I'm going to fly these rates first. Now, make sure when you do change the rates that you write it down. I do think you can default back to the original rates anyway, but write it down so you know what it feels like, and then look at the rate numbers. So I suggest you do that first. So hold on here. I gotta go grab the door. I've got a visitor. Wait a second. If it's online, it'll work. Online, yeah, it's off. That's fine. Yeah, that'll help. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a busy day for me. It's the end of a term, and I'm done today, and people are still wanting help, so I have to do that every once in a while. So I definitely suggest that you consider changing your stick rates. I don't know if we've got a true dialed in, what I would consider to be perfect rate. I did a comparison with the FPV, and there was one of the things that I like to change is the way the drone will flip, okay? Because probably the only thing I'll ever do with this will be to roll it. Not really flip it, but roll it. I do like the roll axis to be, when I get to the roll, to be quicker. So I do like that. As far as, and I think I did look at Dobo's video on his rate suggestions. He was basically talking about your yaw axis. I totally agree with keeping that yaw axis limited. You don't want to yaw a lot, and that just looks bad. It makes it difficult to get good, nice flowy footage when you yaw. So I'd say roll axis, yeah, I think the roll needs to be quick. Why? It's because you want to, since this battery's on the top, to get a quick flip is desirable, okay? You don't want it to be hanging for a very long time because it'll create that wobbling effect. So what you want it to do is to snap roll. So that's something that I really liked about the DJI FPV, because it was a fat, top heavy bird too. And so I would say to increase the snap, to me that would be something logical. Other than that, all of the other axes, any of the other axes, you want to be smooth. And for this one, you want it to stay smooth. But the only one I'd like quick is this roll axis. So that's one that I'm probably going to experiment with to get the roll right. So that's, anyway. As far as price, I think I'm looking at some of your thoughts. Price-wise, this thing is a little bit overpriced. I think most of the cost is the update in these. I think there's a lot of cool things they did. This was a really super nice, this little protective piece. This is a super nice addition. Okay, just understand and make sure that you know that underneath this, you see that little button right there? That is your linking button. So know that it's in there, but sometimes you just don't see those things. The optics are superb. They are so nice. Screen brightness can even be adjusted higher than what than what you watch. I even suggest that you do a little bit of simulator flying. I actually did some simulator flying today. I'm bringing these with me on my trip, and I'm going to fly some sim on my spare time. So, yeah, even though the sim is not super accurate, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you get time in manual mode without your drone being at risk. So I really suggest that you do some sim time. It doesn't cost you anything, and it will probably save you $600 or $700 if you do it enough. What about the buckle? Okay, what about this strap? Do you need a fat strap? And my answer to that is probably not. I still haven't replaced. I did put this baby on this little clip. One of the things that happened was when I ordered this, it came. Let's see if I've got it. Hold on, I'm looking for all the things that I've got with me here. Well, anyways, these goggles here, one thing they don't tell you, at least nobody told me, is the power outlet here is smaller than that of the V2s. Okay, so this right here will not accommodate the V2 battery connector. So I think somebody may have done that, but I don't know of an XT60 mod with the new power. Anyways, the new power piece. So just to give you, so this right here, this little puppy right here is much smaller than the original. So you have to know that. And so what I wanted to get is one with an XT60, so I can use my LiPo batteries for my drone. This works really good, but I want to use XT60 because I can throw it in my pocket and it's just nice. But I have not clipped it on yet. I haven't set it up where I've got it. You know what I'm saying? Where it's connected to my strap and everything. I haven't done that yet. To me, that's window dressing. I don't need it yet. But yeah, so if anybody has this little plug right here, the size of that, I'll have to look at the specs on that, but we need to have a solution for that to XT60 so we can fly with our LiPo batteries. So I need that. That would be good. I also recommend that you purchase some extra props. Okay, so and these are all original. They're not props that are that aren't original equipment. So I think it's too early to be playing around. I'm going to really wait until Master Air Screw comes out with theirs, because I will trust that they tested theirs. So right now I've got some extra props. This is a full set. It does come with extra props, but I got a full set with me. This is let me show you another thing. This mount right here, this is one of the mounts that you can mount a camera with. This is one I also printed out in PETG right here. This is basically a camera mount, but it just snaps right on there, and it does snap on pretty good, this design. I'm going to actually print this once again as well in yellow. Right now, this was the color that I had available when I did my prints. But that right there, as you can see here, let me see if I can find my other piece. As you can see, this right here was not very strong. That piece all broke off. But this basically is a two-piece system where this comes out. You can see that basically will come out of there. I printed out a couple of different versions of this. And like I said, the print is still pretty new, but that piece fits inside of that little slot. So let me show you that on this other one. So it's pretty strong. I trust it with a camera. So this will go up through there. Okay, it'll basically fit just like that. And then this snaps on to the top of your drone, just like that. And that gives you basically a GoPro mount. So that works out pretty good. That's a pretty good design. It's not a perfect design. I mean, there's no aerodynamics in it or anything like that. If you want to mount a camera, I don't know why you'd want to mount a GoPro on here, but some people like to do that. But this is another print that is pretty nice that I'm recommending. But yeah, anything but the duck strap. So anyway, check that out. But as far as Avata is concerned, I really am happy, and I do think that the switch, the change from FPV, from GPS to FPV is really nice. I think everybody needs to do it. It gets really dull and not fun when you're flying GPS. There's no. I mean, if you're taking pictures, it's awesome, but it's not a fun flying experience. This is immersive, and when you're done, you're just like, wow, that was such a fun flight. And I think that's the difference between this and GPS flight. So, all right. But currently my kit basically consists of 2 batteries, an Avata, accessorized with the controller 2. I'm not gonna talk bad about this yet because I don't have anything bad to say about it yet. So I am going to give this little puppy a whirl, and she's ready to go. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not gonna too badmouth something that I haven't used yet. So, but yeah, I'm going to try the flight stick and see what's up with that. We've got basically, we can tilt the camera and power through things, and so interested in that. I'm very interested in that. So and there's our brake. So I can imagine this is going to be another thing I get to discuss, but I think everybody needs to give their true opinion about this before we start to just tear it apart and then say, hey, that's just stupid. So I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm going to give it a shot. But that's it. That's where I'm sitting as far as the Avata is concerned. I am going to be experimenting in a little bit, like I said, with some rates. I do have one more other experiment I'm going to play around with in a little bit, and that has to do with the power supply. There's a very expensive power supply, but there's a lot of them that you can try out that are much, like $14. I don't think you have to spend $70 to $80 for a 65 watt power supply. There's plenty of them out there. So that's another thing we're going to have a little fun with. But the other thing is the case. Right now the cases are way overpriced. And one of my biggest gripes when it comes to the cases available, almost all of the cases, almost every single case that there is out there right now, none of them have a slot for the controller. And this needs a slot. So somebody make a case, one that's not $80, that fits everything, okay? Including this controller. So that's my big gripe of the day. Please do that. But anyway, I'm excited. I think a really cool thing has been thrust upon us. I think the Avata is a winner. I have no concerns about it. Like everybody else is freaking out about it. I think everybody wants to sensationalize some things. I've done that in the past, but I really don't think it's necessary. I think right now we have a really good, solid platform to fly with, and no concerns. So I better get home. I'm going to be late for dinner as it is anyway. But I thought I'd run the stream. If you have not, please watch it from the beginning. I do spend a little bit of time at the beginning. And I am at that point, I am covering this. I'm covering what's called what do we call that? The drone mask. So check that out. I recommend it. I was given my drone mask, but it's something that I have a use for. I do believe I have a use for it. And I can see basically flying with it. I'm just hoping that someday we get it all. And I think there's a possibility that this thing might be everything we wanted. We just got to give it a shot. So a lot of flights to come, man. Yeah, I do recommend flying it. Easy to fly, a little bit tough to set up. I'm not saying that the setup was easy. A lot of people are, I think that there isn't enough setup videos out there. You're going to definitely need to get a little bit of help getting everything kind of set up, linking the controller and the goggles and the Avata. They do it once you get it set up. It pretty much locks together. But I think it's really super important that you check out some videos. Mads Tech's got a good videos for setup. I think that was probably the most helpful. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it for me. I think you guys, hope you have a good weekend. My weekend starts right now. And you guys have a great one. Yes, the Avata is real. It's good. Check out all the videos. There's some good ones out there. Don't get into the hype. Don't get into all the drama. There's no drama about it. It's a really good flyer. It's got its problems. And I don't feel like it warrants a big discussion. It doesn't warrant a giant freak out. It doesn't warrant a bunch of people becoming angry with each other. So, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get sucked into that. If I don't get views because I don't get edgy, that can be, I don't care. So, all righty. Have a good one. I'm off to Cali tomorrow. Going to hang out with my kid. So have a good one. Later. And let's go ahead and cue the music up.
I wanna be a weekend lover.
And
I'ma be the best
thanks for joining me.
lover you got. I
If
wanna mess
you
up
have
the
not, please give me a thumbs up. I know it's kind of an odd stream. It's a Wednesday.
I don't wanna meet
But check it out. There's some good things in here. I think there's some good information. If you have any questions, please ask. Please, no problem for me enjoying. Hey, thanks for joining me. I know I'm not too exciting today. I'm not edgy and crazy today, but it's Wednesday. I can't be edgy and crazy on Wednesday. It's been a really busy day for me too. I've been working a ton today. I mean, I had a pause in the middle of my live stream just to give you an idea. So a lot of people sending me emails. I probably have ones I haven't checked out yet that are on there. It's just that time of year for me. But yeah, have a great weekend. If I can, I'm going to share with you some video. I'm going to go on vacation with this thing. And if I can fly it, that's great. If I can't, I'm gonna fly sim. Yes, gonna fly some sim. Have a good one. Good night. Have a great night, Skang. You come back now. Skang, I haven't had you in my stream in so long. Get back here. Ask me some questions. I've got answers.
You can do, make a move. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing. dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. In love, in love, in love. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. In love, in love, in love. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling. In love, with every move that I'm making. In love, in love, in love. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling. In love, with every move that I'm making. In love, in love, in love. But you keep on telling lies. That is how we stay alive. So you know that I don't mind about what is wrong